Canada. Oh, Canada. My favourite nation on planet Earth. And why? Ignore this lady. Yes, they did give us her, but they also gave us these guys. These guys. And of course, these guys. And this weekend, they also gave us a bloody good Formula 1 race, with plenty of shame to go around. I'm William Target, and remember, teams and drivers, don't get angry at me if I call your name out. I didn't put you on this list, you put you on this list. Let it begin. We kick off this week with BBC's coverage and their track guide in the build-up to Saturday's qualifying session. It features Sebastian Vettel and David Coulthard riding around the track on bikes. And it was entertaining for a while, particularly when the two launched into a surprisingly uncrap rendition of Queen's bicycle race. Then they started talking about sausages, and it got a bit weird. They were referring to the new sausage curve at the final chicane. First of all, I've never understood why some curbs in F1 are referred to as sausages, and second of all, said curbs appear to have been quite bumpy and painful for the drivers, which by the end of the weekend left the F1 grid with more sore arse than a prison shower. But enough about sausages. At number 4, Eddie Jordan, or rather, people who complain about him. It seems as though every time he's on screen on the BBC, there is someone on Twitter saying, "Oh no, it's EJ." I've said it before and I'll say it again. I effing love Eddie Jordan. During the forum on the red button on the BBC, he blatantly ignored the foreign presenter who said, "Eddie, we're live," and just jumped into the middle of their coverage to interview Jacques Villeneuve. And then, during the grid walk earlier in the day, he provided us with the funniest moment of the season so far, another one of his entanglements with Bernie Ecclestone. EJ spotted the tit and headed straight for him. Bernie felt the blip on his crazy Irishman radar and did that thing where you see someone you know but don't want to talk to them, so you pretend you haven't seen them thing. But it didn't work. Eddie went straight for him, Bernie even like he was trying to run away at some point, but EJ was having none of it. Practically rugby tackled him on the grid to get the interview. It was so funny. God damn it, give that man a knighthood. The number 3 entry concerns Sebastian Vettel, but for once, I'm not shaming him. Now, I've made no secret on these shows of the fact that I strongly dislike Vettel, but even I felt sorry for him when, having dominated the crap out of the race from start to finish, he was relentlessly booed on the podium by the Canadian fans. Now, I know we're all sick of seeing him win. I am too, but you have to admit he drove a perfect race. Would it hurt to show a bit of respect for your race winner? Shame. And now for this week's Get Out of Shame 3, which for Canada could have gone to a multitude of drivers. Webber, and particularly Massa, pulled off some fantastic overtakes and some excellent drives. And Williams' Valtteri Bottas, or as he was referred to on Twitter, #Bottas, pulled off a miraculous display on Saturday to qualify 3rd. Toro Rosso Jean-Eric Vergne also had a fantastic qualifying session and then improved his position on race day. But Get Out of Shame 3 this week has to go to Paul di Resta. Now, Force India have this season shown to have some genuine race pace, but they've suffered a lot of bad luck, which looked as though it may continue in Montreal when di Resta was only able to qualify 17th. However, on race day he went to miraculous 53 laps on one set of tyres, pulled off a perfect strategy to finish 7th. Paul di Resta, I doff my cap to you, sir. At number 2, 2 drivers who just aren't getting it lately. Lotus's Romain Grosjean entered this season under a lot of scrutiny, and whilst he does show flashes of brilliance, I refer you to his podium in Bahrain, he still makes more negative headlines than positive. A crashy display in Monaco was followed up by a flaccid one this weekend in Montreal, in which a poor qualifying session led to an anonymous race. Now, like I've said, the potential is there with Grosjean, but if he doesn't turn things around soon, I have the feeling his confidence could go, and then he could be in trouble. I feel no such sympathy, however, for Caterham's Guido van der Garde, who is just pants. He was at fault for 2 collisions this week, the first of which showed a complete lack of awareness on his part and very nearly ended Mark Webber's race. Having complained about Max Chilton last time out, Guido this week led me to wonder why the hell Marussia and Caterham would drop 2 experienced, solid, proven professionals in Timo Glock and Heikki Kovalainen in favour of 2 youngsters such as Max Chilton and Guido van der Garde, who can't seem to get into a car without whacking someone. Shameful. No, disgraceful, in fact. Over the course of the weekend, BBC and Sky used plenty of Canadian music as the soundtrack to their coverage. We thankfully heard no Justin Bieber or Celine Dion, but we did hear Avril Lavigne, Alanis Morissette and Arcade Fire. But no Rush! Shame on you! In a celebration of Canadian music and culture, how on earth can you exclude the greatest band in the history of planet Earth? This awful tasty music will not be stood for by this shamer right here. Hang your heads in shame, BBC and Sky, hang them in shame. Unfortunately, we must end this week's show report on a sad note, as towards the end of the race, track marshal Mark Robinson was killed when a truck removing a retired car from the track accidentally ran over him. The condolences of everyone in Formula 1 are with his family. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you in Silverstone.